Our UnitedWeStandPeople.com public investigation has revealed a huge problem with Equifax's credit reporting system. Even though Equifax is well aware debts are bought and sold as a daily practice within the financial industry, they do not verify if the reporting creditors are still in fact the rightful owners of the debt when creating the original Equifax credit reporting file. To make things worse, they do not verify if the bank is in fact still the rightful owner of the debt in between reporting on the Canadian credit report. For example, Equifax creates the original file concerning the debt with the bank in January. The bank has something to report regarding the debt to the Canadian's credit report in June. This 6-month period is ample time for your creditor to have sold the debt on the open market. If the bank did indeed sell the debt in between reports, then they have no right to report remarks on your credit report due to the fact they are no longer your creditor. With the above in mind, the bank appearing as a creditor on your credit report would be considered inaccurate information. If the bank sold the debt, by definition, they can no longer be considered your creditor and should not appear as a creditor on your credit report. Presently, Equifax has no checks and balances to prevent this from happening. Even though every bank loan agreement mentions the bank can sell the debt without informing the Canadian borrower. Canadian provincial legislation clearly states inaccurate information must be deleted from a Canadian's credit report. Equifax must operate within the rules. If the bank sold your debt, they should no longer appear on your credit report as your creditor. The above illustrates the lack of integrity within Equifax's credit reporting system, resulting in a huge amount of inaccurate information appearing on Canadian credit reports. Another interesting fact is the most sued entity in North America is Equifax. Which leads us to the next huge problem our Canadian public investigation revealed within Equifax's credit reporting system. The way Equifax conducts their so-called investigations on behalf of the Canadian people when the banks report inaccurate information on the Canadian people's credit report has many flaws. For decades, Equifax have been conducting investigations by simply calling the bank and asking if the bank did intentionally report the inaccurate information. If they say yes, then end of investigation. The result? The Canadian is wrong. Not under any circumstances would this be considered a reasonable, sufficient investigation. For decades, Equifax has been acting like they are a department of the bank, not a third-party agent offering a service to the Canadian public. Equifax's advertised service is to only report accurate information to the Canadian Public Credit Report. Equifax makes it seem to the public their number one objective is to make sure the Canadian Public Credit Report contains only accurate reports when dealing with creditors. But any Canadian who has approached Equifax to challenge inaccurate information reported by creditors know, in reality, this is not the case. In reality, what happens is Equifax simply calls and asks the bank if they sent in the derogatory remark, and once the bank says yes, the investigation is complete. That's ridiculous. For Equifax to simply call and take the word of the creditor over the Canadian public is unacceptable. Where is the due process for the Canadian people and the due diligence of the Equifax investigation process? Here is a real-life example. A Canadian arranged a debt consolidation loan via a friendly professional Canadian private lender. The Canadian borrower, together with the Canadian private lender, tried to pay out the bank debt in full, but the bank could not produce proof that they still are the rightful owners of the debt. The Canadian even served the bank 3 times via registered mail, stating very clearly, together with the private lender, we have the funds to pay off the loan in full, but we simply need proof of ownership of the debt. After many attempts, the bank could not prove they still own the debt. So the bank inaccurately reported the Canadian missing payments to Equifax. This is by definition inaccurate information due to why would the Canadian keep paying payments when they are trying to pay the debt in full for months? But it was the bank that could not produce the proper documentation in a timely fashion. Now, if the Equifax investigation team would simply just call the bank and ask if they sent the derogatory report, obviously the bank would say yes. But does this make it accurate? Of course not. But Equifax's plan is simple. Just bully the Canadian people into submission via their lawyers. But no longer do Canadians have to put up with this due to UnitedWeStandPeople.com Canadian Public Investigations. Let us help you take action consistently. Sign up for our free automated complaint system. This will allow you to send 1 complaint a month to each bank employee, collector, or lawyer bullying Canadians with no effort or cost on your part. Knowledge without action is useless. Be part of the solution.
So don't forget to like this video and share with your friends and subscribe.